Good morning and welcome to Friday. We did it. We made it through another week. I don't know about you. For me, it seems like it went pretty quickly. So I'm very happy about that. Hope you're doing well this morning. Tim's off today. So in order for you not to miss him too much, because, you know, he is such a big part of the show, obviously. We're going to run a couple of taped interviews that Tim did, along with some live interviews. And then, of course, today's Friday, so we're going to talk to our furry friends or feathered friends or feline friends. Humane Society is going to stop in and close the show out for us as they do every Friday. So lots to do for you this morning. I want to talk to you a little bit before we get started about some of the local stories that we're working on. For instance, huge news out of the Station Mall. Unfortunately, the Walmart there is closing. They're apparently going to offer people who work with Walmart at that location a job at the Superstore, which is up here on Great Northern Road. Sort of a little bit scary, I would think. That's the second anchor store now that has left the Station Mall. Sears, of course, being the first. And it's interesting, you know, because I was reading an article about malls and what the future for them looks like with all of this online shopping and how we're all so into that. And it looks pretty iffy for the next 10 years or so. And some people are even speculating that malls will not even exist in 10 years. So we have some more details on that for you. It's official now. Also, unfortunate. This is such a sad story. There's a First Nations about 600 kilometers north of Thunder Bay. And there was a house fire and a mother and all of her children passed away in the fire. She was a single mom. You can imagine people there are devastated about the news. So we're going to find out details for you throughout the day, of course, but we do have that in our local newscast. Also, we're going to talk to you a little bit about the bike path and what the community here in Sault Ste. Marie thinks is good or bad about bike paths. And just a heads up for you, too, before we get to the interviews. I was driving back from my mother-in-law's on Thursday night, I believe it was. No, Wednesday night. And it was dark, and a mother cub and two baby cubs bounded across the front of the car, across the road. My first thing was like, oh my gosh, look how cute. And they are, right? They're just so adorable. And then I saw on Facebook that a mother had posted a picture of a maybe 4-year-old girl watching the mama bear and the baby cubs through the window, eating a snack. They're so adorable, and when you see them, you know what? I'm from Northern Ontario. I was born and raised in Espanola. I've never seen a bear. Can you imagine? Never ever seen a bear. So it was kind of exciting for me. And then I thought to myself, you've been doing news long enough. You have to know bears are cute until they chomp your foot off. So be careful. The MNRF, Ministry of Natural Resources and Forests, saying that, of course, hibernation is ending. And it depends on a lot of different things as to when the bear actually comes out of hibernation. For instance, the shape the bear is in. They're thinking it might be a little bit later this year because we had so much snow. And then also they're thinking that food sources, if they're readily available, it will entice the bears out. So just really a heads up, 'tis the season for bears. So be very, very careful. If you are, out and about in the backyard, watch the kids, watch your little, your pets and your other animals. So with that heads up, we're going to take a commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about why family matters too. So stay tuned. It's Friday mornings with Lou Ann and Tim right after this. And welcome back to Mornings with Luann and Tim on TV. Very happy to be speaking with Connie Rayner-Elliott this morning, as well as Donna DeSimon. They are both with SOYA, have a big event coming up this weekend, so we're going to talk about that, fill you in a little bit, because it's very important business. First of all, Connie, tell us about SOYA and what it is. As the founder, my goodness.
SOYA stands for Save Our Young Adults. I actually started approximately, I'll be 8 years old on May the 8th. And what it is, it's a Facebook grassroots group that helps people that want to go to treatment, supports the family. We want to educate everybody and just be out there and let people know that you're not alone, because when it comes to the drug overdose crisis in our city, it is huge.
It is, unfortunately, and it seems like it's growing more and more.
Unfortunately, yes.
What prompted you like, what motivated you? Why did you find this was an important thing that the community had to know more about?
This, like I said, it's been 8 years. I was tired of the kids going to their friends' funerals in their school uniforms. So one day I just sat in front of my computer at home and I'm like, is anybody else out there? Because I was just overwhelming, because I couldn't find the help and find out how I can help these people. And within 6.5 hours, over 100 people joined.
Wow.
Joined SOYA, and it's over 1,500 now.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
Definitely a need there.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yes.
Donna, tell us about your role and what SOYA does for the community specifically. It sounds very much like it's a support system.
I am co-chair of SOYA. Basically, all that means is Connie is frontline, so she's out there. She goes out to anyone who needs help.
I see.
I am more. I do the organizing.
Okay. You're the detail lady.
Yes, exactly.
So your job is huge as well.
Yes, and I'm a perfectionist, so it's even.
Oh gosh! Oh my word! You must have long days.
She keeps me organized.
SOYA does so many things. That's just it. We help people get to treatment. We start right from the very beginning. Connie goes out on the front lines, and if they need help, she'll take them, get them help, get them to detox, help them get to treatment. Then we help them find safe accommodations after, and then there's the follow-up care after.
And advocate for them.
Yeah, and advocate for them. And we've started a family group now. It's called FAST. It stands for Family Addiction Support Team. And we have meetings for family members of any active substance abusers, recovering substance abusers, and families that have lost someone to addiction.
You know what? That's got to be so important, because as a family, you want to help and you don't have any idea how to do it.
You have no idea how needed this is. We had our second meeting last night, and I think it's going to go over incredibly. Because it's much needed in the city.
You need to know they're not alone.
Right.
There's so many.
I bet. Absolutely. Yeah. When you, Donna, talked about how, Connie, you're sort of the front line, your boots on the ground, as it were. How does one get a hold of you? If I'm an addict, if one of my family members is an addict, is that how you see us, how you find us?
Well, no, I don't find anybody, they find us.
Okay.
SOYA is actually on Facebook, and because we've been around for quite a period of time, a lot of people, they just spread the word. We're basically we're getting out there now, because I didn't have time to do a lot of things other than when people contact me, it keeps me quite busy.
Yes.
But contact us through Facebook, and then other agencies they know that we're around. So, and then when it goes to people at Detox, or people know who we are.
Yeah,
so,
good.
So, and we're getting out there more.
That's because of all the hard work you two are doing. Donna, tell us about SOYA and how it's funded, because you talked about accommodations, and you help with addicts who are recovering, or even during their recovery, with accommodations, for instance.
Well, what's happening right now is in December we decided that we were going to apply for incorporation.
Okay.
So we did, and we applied and got our that they had received our application in March.
Okay.
We haven't got our incorporation number yet. We're waiting, it should be any day, and that will allow us to actually do some fundraising.
Oh.
Big time fundraising, because unfortunately, up until now, everything that's been done has come out of pocket.
Oh my word.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so being incorporated allows you to approach people for donations.
Yes, and to actually go out and fundraise, like major fundraising, like we want to have a big garage, so eventually we'll have some kind of a benefit. I've got all kinds of plans to raise some money so that we can.
So up to now, this is an 8-year-old organization. Up to now, it's been out of pocket?
My husband's very, we haven't gone on any vacations.
Oh my goodness.
And I mean, but the whole thing is, like, how do you put a price on it, right? And I mean, anytime, because we'll set up people with apartments, and all I have to do is I just reach out and say, okay, this is what I'm looking for. And Sault Ste. Marie is very generous.
The Sioux is awesome. I've been doing this for a long time and talking to nonprofits for a long time. And the Sault Ste. Marie, man, it comes through as a community always.
It does.
So it's good to know that people are still very generous. Now, something coming up this weekend you wanted to talk to us about this morning. It sounds like it's going to be a hoot. Family Matters too. So tell us about that.
Okay. Well, I just want to start off by thanking our corporate sponsors, O'Sullivan, because they're the ones that actually they approached last year. So this is our second Family Matters.
O'Sullivan?
O'Sullivan.
Awesome.
Yes, Lisa and Mark. And all of our SOYA members and a lot of companies have donated for our raffle table. But what the event is, we have local agencies coming in, we have local speakers telling their stories of substance abuse and their recovery. It's a lot of education and support. I mean, our mandate is not just to help people get to treatment, but to keep people alive. And we got to get rid of the stigma.
The stigma is such a huge. I think we hear the term druggie or drug addict or junkie, and you think of people who don't have regular jobs, people who don't have a residence, and that is so not the case. No, and we're finding that more and more in Sault Ste. Marie.
Well, it has to do too with the poison drug supply, right? So anybody that's a recreational user or even first-time user will have been affected by the opioid crisis. Like, we've had overdoses of people that are just recreational users.
Right.
So it's not the, addict that is happening to all the time.
Yeah.
So it's it can happen to anyone.
How big is the stigma, do you think?
Huge.
It's ridiculous.
Is it still?
We're not in the 1800s. People got to move forward.
Really?
When it comes to addiction, it's the most non-prejudiced disease I've ever seen in my life.
Really?
That's why
it
we
affects
need to educate.
everybody.
And you know what? I bet you hear a lot of, well, you know what? It's their own fault.
Yes.
They started it. Now they have to live with the circumstances and the consequences, right?
Yes, and that's when I get a little upset.
There's always been that thing, is it a choice, is it a disease, and that argument, but we always say we don't care, like people are dying, like it's an opinion, that's all it is.
And you know what, it's interesting that you said we don't care why, we just want to help fix it.
Exactly.
And I think that would help in the stigma as well too, right? Because people, in talking to someone like yourselves, will understand that it's not just about what you think the problem is, it's actually about what is happening because of the problem.
Exactly.
Right.
And addiction and mental illness tie hand in hand.
Right.
Yes, absolutely.
And it affects the whole family.
The whole family, no doubt. And moms and dads must feel like, oh, where did I go wrong?
And we were talking last night at our meeting how the core family is changing.
Yes.
You have so many grandparents raising their grandchildren now.
Yeah. And you have some naloxone kits.
Yes.
What are these for?
Okay. Now, what these kits are, these actually will save a life, anybody that is in an overdose. And one of our mandates is, I feel, as well as a lot of our members, that these kits should be in every local businesses. We actually have a team going around. It's just like a defibrillator, right?
Okay.
And actually will save a life. And the whole thing is, when it comes to these kits, I mean, this is the nasal, very simple to use. This is the IM. And what it does is, if somebody overdoses, and then it reverses the overdose. But number one, call 911. People got to learn about the Good Samaritan Act. It doesn't matter what you're doing.
Yes, call.
You have to call
Yeah.
911.
Yeah.
And then after they are administered, like, I mean, you're saving a life.
Yes.
And I think it should be part of a first aid kit.
And you know what? I think that's a great idea. And also, don't be afraid to use it. You can't hurt a person who's overdosed.
You
or
can't hurt anyone.
You can't hurt them. So
No, I did an example of it, and I put one of these in my legs just to show that even if they're not overdosing, if you don't know what type of drug, because meth's really huge in our city.
Right,
I mean,
yes.
that's a different type, but it won't hurt them.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's all good.
Right.
Always use it if you're in doubt.
Right.
Families matter too. So where and when on Sunday, ladies?
11 to 5 Sunday at Grand Gardens on Dennis Street.
Terrific. I hope you get so many people out there and you
We
can talk
hope
to
so,
them.
too.
And if you have questions with regards to the naloxone kits, with regards to stigmas, if you need some help, these ladies are here for you, and they're going to bring you to some agency connections. Thank you both so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Hope to see you all there.
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
it's gonna
Yes,
be-
please.
gonna be
Sunday's a
great.
good day.
Thank you.
Absolutely. We'll be right back. Mornings on TV with Luann and Tim.
I wanna let go. I wanna let go. I wanna let go.
Welcome back to Mornings with Luann and Tim, and in the studio right now I have Daniella Brewer. Hi, Daniella.
Hi.
Thanks for coming in to join me this morning. Well, it's actually not morning, but we're taping this and we're going to pretend it's morning. Daniella, you and I met at the Sue's Got Talent.
Yes.
I was fortunate enough to be invited to be a judge for the finals, and it was not just a talent show, it was also a fundraiser for the Canadian Cancer Society. You, Daniella Brewer, won first place.
Yes, I did.
And what was interesting was that wasn't just based on the 4 judges who were there that evening. That was a unanimous vote from the audience
Yeah.
who was in the house that night. So
Yeah.
congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
Let's talk a little bit about you and how music came into your life. When did you first discover or feel like you liked to sing or play, or that music mattered to you?
I did piano lessons I started when I was 4.
Ooh, okay.
So that was like the first introduction, I guess you would
Right.
say. But I've been singing for as long as I can remember.
As long as you can remember.
Yeah.
The piano lessons. I took piano lessons myself. I quit after 2 years. I just didn't stick with it. How
Yeah.
long did you stay?
4 or 5, I think it was. Yeah.
Oh, good
So,
for you. You hung in
yeah.
longer than I did.
Yeah, I think I was 9 when I quit. Yeah.
Now when you play, Daniella, do you play with reading music or do you play by ear or a combination?
Well, usually it's like a YouTube tutorial, and then I figure it out, and then
No
so it's
kidding.
by ear basically. But I mean, with help.
That's really
Yeah.
so. Oh, a YouTube tutorial. I never thought about that.
Yeah, there's tons for
Wow.
everything. So,
So do you play other instruments as well?
ukulele, I just
Really?
started picking up. Yeah, I got one for my birthday last year, so I started picking that up. And I used to do a little bit of guitar. I haven't played it in a long time though.
No.
And my dad bought a drum kit, so we're gonna try and work on drums.
I took drum lessons too.
Really?
Well, I sang in a festival and I won a scholarship, and I wanted to take saxophone lessons, but I had braces, so I couldn't.
Oh,
So I thought,
no.
okay, I'll take drums. So I studied for 3 years. If I'd have gone one more year, I would have had my teachers. And Daniella, I'm the worst drummer in the world. I can play a drum chart, but I can't. I couldn't sit down and just drum. I don't have that in me. Rhythm is a real gift.
Yeah.
Now, when I saw you playing, though, I would have just assumed that you were still like that you were an accomplished pianist.
Oh no, no, no,
And
no.
then, never mind that. Never mind the piano. Let's move on to the voice. I couldn't believe when you mentioned you've never had a lesson.
No, I have not.
Is music in your family?
My dad's musical.
Your mother is sitting right off camera. You're not musical?
Well,
Mrs.
she
Brewer?
tries. She tries.
She tries.
She sings in the house.
My father always said that in order to have a great singer, you have to have a great audience. So there you go.
Oh yeah, she's my #1 fan. So.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So what was the experience like? Was this your first time in a talent show?
Well, we do talent shows at my school and stuff.
You're at
so
St. Mary's?
Yeah. So at St. Mary's, we do like an annual talent show.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure that's a fundraiser too.
Okay.
So I've done that 2 years in a row, but that was the first time I've actually sang in front of people was
When?
in the grade 10.
Grade 10
I'm in
was the
grade
first
12
time
now. Grade 10 talent show at school was the first time I ever sang in front of other than my family.
Kidding.
Yeah.
And so, were you scared at all when you first got there at the tech?
Extremely. I'm a very nervous person. I mean, I don't know if it shows.
It didn't that night. It didn't that night.
It's nerve wracking.
And you had to do so on the finals, the night of the finals, and it was the first time I heard you. So did you have to go back week after week? And you did. You had to keep knocking out the competition.
Yeah. So it was every 2 weeks.
And a different song every week.
Yeah.
And then some of the times you sang with accompaniment, like a tape, like a karaoke. We call it backing track. I hate to call it karaoke because I think it's different when you've rehearsed it and you actually are performing it without the TV screen.
Of course.
So it was backing track.
Yeah.
But then, was it the first time you ever played for yourself? Was the finals? Or had you accompanied yourself before?
I think that was my first time.
I think it was too because I remember the other judges were like, "Oh, she's playing for herself."
Yeah,
I was like,
well, Sue's Got Talent. It was my first time
performing,
was. And I think, it was my first time accompanying myself.
Oh, it made me really nervous, double nerves, and at the finals of all times to pull that out of your hat.
Might as well go out with a bang, right?
Oh well, it worked in your favor.
Yeah, I guess so.
You won $1,000.
Yeah, I did.
What are you gonna do with it?
It's going in the bank. I'm saving up for university, so. Yeah.
Is music going to remain a part of your life after you finish grade 12 this year?
I'm hoping it does. But I'm thinking in university, I'm thinking of taking film. But like that music could also be a part of that too.
You could do film scores.
Yeah. Yes.
No,
yeah.
You could do everything. You know.
Yeah.
Why not?
And there's like integrated media courses where you do music production and.
Didn't Sylvester Stallone score Rocky as well as write the? I believe he scored it, started it.
Did he? I didn't know that.
Sly Stallone. Yeah.
Cool.
So there you go. Film. That's very cool.
Yeah.
And then now you're performing in a play, or is it a musical that St. Mary's is doing?
Yeah.
And that's opening in May of 2019.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yeah. I don't know the exact date, but it's in May. So.
Does it have a name?
It's We Will Rock You. Actually, it's a Queen musical.
The timing of that is perfect because Freddie Mercury, the movie just came out.
Yeah. I went to go see it actually. It was really good.
What's it called? Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
Kevin, our cameraman, just saw it too. He loved it. You loved it?
Yeah, I loved it.
I'm gonna go as well. Do you sing any Queen songs?
I mean, I hadn't. Well, Bohemian Rhapsody in the car, obviously, it's like a given. But I hadn't actually sat down and sang one until I auditioned for this musical. So the first time I actually sat down and like I did Somebody to Love because that's what I auditioned with.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
Yeah. I also wanted to ask, and you discovered through this process of doing the show at St. Mary's College that not only does the Sue have talent, your brother has talent.
Yeah.
You had no idea, but your brother's cast in the show as well.
He's got a pretty important role, so it's pretty cool.
And you never heard him sing?
No, he's never not professional or like.
I love this. So at rehearsals is the first time you were actually going to hear your brother sing.
I told him that Miss Tappan wanted to hear him sing, so he went down there and he sang for her. I didn't get to hear it because I was in class, but like she heard him sing before I got to, so that's a pretty big accomplishment. We told her to feel honored. He's never sang in front of us.
She's got a great rapport with students, though, Miss Tappan. Then.
Oh yeah.
Her first name is Kate. Do you call her Kate now? That she actually accompanied you on the second song.
Yeah.
I should mention that the Sue sings the Sue's Got Talent. I always get mixed up. Sue sings for kids. Sue's Got Talent. The first song was a song of your choice, which you're going to perform for us today.
Yeah.
The second song you had to perform the judge's choice.
Yeah.
And they chose Chandelier by Sia.
Yeah.
Right? Oh my, what a song. You did an amazing job, but Kate actually accompanied you.
Yeah.
So it was like, I didn't know what to call her when we were rehearsing together.
Yeah, because I don't call her Kate.
No.
Because she still is a teacher.
How great though that she came and supported you.
Oh yeah, she's so good for that. Like I mean, I've performed. We did the Mayor's Youth Art Gala. Mm-hmm. We do that, and she came and she watched, and she like helped me with my songs. Like she helped me practice. She's like super good with. Like,
how cool is it that the director of education for the Huron Superior Catholic District School Board, Rose Burton Spahn, found out there were 3 students performing in the Sue's Got Talent, and she went to the finals just to support you guys.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
And what's the result of that?
I got a letter from the office today, a professional Huron Superior School Board letter, and they want me to sing at a board meeting on December.
I think that's so great.
Yeah, because I know that a lot of people. She told me a lot of people wanted to come and they couldn't because family stuff, and but they want to hear me sing, so.
I want to hear you sing too, and so do our viewers. Would you honor us with the song?
I will, sure.
And this is
Dying in LA by Panic at the Disco.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Daniella Brewer, the winner of the Sue's Got Talent.
The moment you arrived, they built you up. The sun was in your eyes. You couldn't believe it. Riches all around. You're walking, stars are on the ground. You start to believe it. Every face along the boulevard is a dreamer just like you. You looked at death in a tarot card and you saw what you had to do. But nobody knows you now when you're dying in LA. Nobody owes you now when you're dying in LA. The power, the power, the power. Oh, the power, the power, the power of LA. Nights at the chateau, trapped in your sunset bungalow. You couldn't escape it. Drink of paradise. They told you to put your blood on ice. You're not gonna make it. Every face along the boulevard is a dreamer just like you. You looked at death in a tarot card and you saw what you had to do. But nobody knows you now when you're dying in LA. Nobody owes you now when you're dying in LA. When you're dying in LA. When you're dying in LA. Oh, the power, the power, the power. Oh, the power, the power, the power of LA. Of LA. Nobody knows you now when you're dying in LA. Nobody owes you now when you're dying in LA. When you're dying in LA, dying in LA. When you're dying in LA. Oh, the power, the power, the power. Oh, the power, the power, the power. Oh, the power, yeah.
Daniella Brewer, ladies and gentlemen. Daniella, please, will you tell Miss Tappenden that I would like you or maybe some cast members to come back closer to the date of the show and to promote the show and sell some tickets. Come here on
Yeah, of
Mornings with
course.
Luann and Tim, and
I
we'll
will
see you
let her know.
again. Let her know. Also, you might see Daniella singing the national anthem at one of the Greyhound games coming up. You never know.
Sometime in December, maybe. So
Right
I
on.
hope so.
Thank you so much for
Thank you very
sharing
much
your
for
talent with
having me.
us. It was a pleasure. Nice to see you again. All the
Yeah.
best to you, and we'll see you
Well,
again
thank you
on
very much.
ONNtv.
Yep.
And we'll be right back with more Mornings with Luann and Tim right after this.
Mornings with Luann and Tim. So excited about this next interview. Dakota Kress and her mom, Amanda Kress, both here to talk about Jam for Jam. So, Amanda, tell us first about Jam for Jam. What is it?
So Jam for Jam is a fundraiser for St. Vincent de Paul. So they've come together with the youth of Sault Ste. Marie to to bring attention to how we need to help fill that food bank. So one of the things that they're lacking, ironically enough, is jam. So we, like the fundraisers, have put together an event where they will be like you bring a jar of jam and then you pay $25 and you get a live concert featuring the youth of Sault Ste. Marie.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, are you and your friends playing a lot, or just you by yourself? Do you know anybody else who's playing?
No, not very well.
No? Now, why do you think it's important to fill up the shelves at the soup kitchen? I mean, I don't think about it a lot, honestly, because I eat whenever I want to eat. You?
Because people need to eat. It's something that everyone needs to do in order to survive. So,
do you figure that kids who are your age and a little bit older, a little bit younger, do they understand that there are people out there that don't have food on a daily basis, do you think? Like, how did you get involved? Was it just because Mom talked to you about it?
yep.
Basically, Mom said you're going, and you said, sure. So what are you going to be doing at Jam for Jam?
Drumming.
Drumming. So how long have you been a drummer?
I can't remember.
No? It's been a while, huh? Why did you pick this drum? It's very interesting, because when you said drummer at first, I thought, like the big drum kit and all that stuff. What brought you to this one?
We made it.
What?
Yeah. There's a workshop at Algoma University where we had the opportunity to make drums. So I brought all my kids down and they all made a drum. So it's their drum and it's their songs. And
so, like, are you Mom of the Year or what?
Nope.
Seriously? I have to ask your kids, right? What time is Jam for Jam and where's it at?
So Jam for Jam will be held at the Bush Plain, and dinner starts at 5, I believe, and the concert starts at 7 or 8. It's going to be a little late because she has school the next day,
Yes.
so she'll be drumming through dinner to help accommodate her
Awesome.
education.
So, Dakota, are you cooking too? I mean, I know you're playing the drum, but are you cooking as well?
I don't know how to cook.
Oh, really? You can make some bologna sandwiches then. That would work, right? Who's going to cater?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
No, I'm not sure.
It's at the
Sorry.
Bush Plain, so it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. We've been to many events there. She has been nominated in 2017 for the Youth Audenya Legacy Award. So we've been there to support.
Yes.
And their meals are amazing. So
Terrific.
they have great caterers, great planning.
Awesome. So, Dakota, tell us about drumming, and do you do all your own stuff, or do you follow, do you do Taylor Swift stuff? No, eh? No. You do original things, though? Or do you read music and play to the music that you're reading?
She does both.
She does both.
Yeah, she does both.
Yeah, it must be really interesting to sort of have that creative outlet. Did you ever think that you'd be good at it when you first started? Did you think, I can't do this? Or did you always know that you had it in you?
The first one.
Yeah, the first one, eh? You were thinking, I can't do this. I bet it must have been hard to make. Does it take a long time? It seems very intricate, right?
It took us 2 days to make it.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
So-
Oh, look at this behind here, too. What's this little bag all about? What's this for?
Do you remember what that's for?
Candy.
Those are her medicines. So the Anishinaabe traditional medicines are in that bag.
Oh, awesome.
So she has the red dress on there as well, because she drummed in 2018 for missing and murdered Indigenous women.
Oh, wow. Good for you.
And then we have the piece of leather on there to recognize abuse against men as well. The tobacco ties have been gifted to her to drum for certain people. So when we attend ceremony, those will go into the fire for their prayers. So
Now, what kind of drum is this? What's this material here?
that's deer.
Deer.
Deer, yes.
So do you have to stretch it and like, do you right from the start?
Yes. Well, what happened was they soaked the hide so that we can stretch it around.
Right.
And it has to be really wet in order to do it. So we did that, and then we weaved in the back, and we were taught how to burst the drums. So it was a great
Awesome.
experience.
I was going to say, what a great creative experience,
Yeah.
and to connect with your heritage, right?
Absolutely,
and why it's important to do that.
Well, I feel
And
it's
this-
important for them as well, right? So,
Absolutely, and this looks like it's very, very personal.
so we made 5 drumsticks that day, one to represent each one of our family. So we made 5 of them. We never know whose is actually whose.
That's a good thing, though, right? It's called sharing.
Exactly. So she just uses the one that feels good that day. So
Awesome. Terrific. We're going to get Dakota to play for us. Jam for Jam is where and when again?
May 9th at the Bush Plain Heritage Museum.
And what time does it start?
I believe it starts at 5.
So
and
it's dinner and then
a concert.
The concert.
Yeah.
And Dakota will play you through your dinner.
Yes.
So really, $25 and a jar of jam.
Yes.
You cannot ask for better than that to benefit. Seriously, such a good job. Okay, you want to take it away for us, Dakota Kress for Jam for Jam. Here you go. Awesome. Oh my word. You know what? Mom was watching you like a hawk. I think if she could play through your hand, she would have for you. That was absolutely wonderful. You know what? It made me want to learn. And I didn't realize you were going to sing too. What a great voice. Awesome, awesome. How could you resist a dinner with someone like Dakota playing you through your dinner? Bush Plain on the 9th?
On the 9th from 5 to 10, I want to say. I'm not sure. I know that the dinner starts around 5 and then the concert starts at 8. So
great way to help out St. Vincent de Paul. Thank you both so much. You just made my Friday. Thanks, honey. We'll be back right after this. We always have such a good time on Friday when Laura comes from the Humane Society. Today, we are having a hoot. This dog, is with Laura this morning. Tell us about, he's trying to eat the microphones. He's just,
He's a big puppy.
Yeah, he is a big puppy, but he's a doll.
Yeah.
What's his name?
His name is Rolo.
Rolo?
Yes.
Now, how did he come to be with the Humane Society?
He was a stray.
Oh, he was?
Yes.
So when, like, a stray is, I know this is going to sound ignorant, but like just wandering around, or somebody brought him because they didn't know who owned him?
It can be either.
Yeah.
So I believe he was brought in by one of our animal control.
Really?
Yeah, just wandering. He's a lot of energy. This morning when I went to go grab him out of the yard, he just can go. I had to bribe him with treats to go.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
He knew he was coming to see me, that's why. So he seems like he's in really good shape.
He is, yep. His ears were docked and one of the stitches was left in, so that's about the only thing. We had to get that removed.
What is ear docking?
cropped, sorry.
What does that mean?
These guys are born with floppy ears.
Really?
Yeah, and a long tail.
Oh.
So it's a body modification for the breed.
Okay.
Thankfully, a lot of clinics and standards are getting away from it now.
I was going to say, how do you feel about that? Because I know your love of animals. I'm looking at his poor little tail.
I know.
I
I personally love floppy ears and long tails.
Well, because why would you change the dog?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of an old-fashioned standard with some of the old, like the American Kennel Club, Canadian Kennel Club, and a lot of them are changing it. They don't remove like the dew claws on the dogs anymore if they're up higher, and
oh yeah,
a lot of them aren't doing cropping and that because it's a big surgery, like the ear pinning.
Well, I bet.
Sometimes it doesn't take, and they have to redo it.
Oh, and this is all purely for show
aesthetics, absolutely.
Oh my gosh,
yeah, it has no
ridiculous
effect on the animal itself,
except a little discomfort.
Yeah, and sometimes it can actually, if the surgeries aren't done right, it can cause a lifetime of discomfort. Phantom pains, things like that.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
So he seems like he's in really good shape.
He is, yeah. He needs to be neutered still, definitely. That'll help cut down some of this energy.
Yeah, he's
a
look at him. He's just a big baby.
Yeah. He's 11 months old.
Just a big baby. How long?
11 months.
Oh, he is?
Yes.
So is he done growing, do you think?
He'll fill out.
Yeah.
That's about it.
He won't get taller or bigger,
No, he
though.
shouldn't get any taller.
His teeth won't get larger.
No. No, they won't. Don't chew your leash. Hey.
He's awesome, though. He's really well trained, too.
He is,
so
yeah.
Somebody's been paying attention to him.
Somebody did some work. Maybe he was a serial runner and they just kind of gave up. I think that happens sometimes.
Or do they ever, serial runners, do they run and like never go home?
Oh, yeah. Especially
really?
younger ones, sometimes they'll just go.
Isn't that interesting?
And they don't wander back home. They just like to run.
They just go.
Especially if they don't have a good outlet for their energy.
Ah.
So if they're cooped up a lot and they're not walked properly, and breeds like this, they're higher energy working dogs.
So you need to be committed to it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If you're interested in Rolo, go and see Laura at the Humane Society. What are your hours?
Our hours are Monday through Friday. We're open 11 to 5. And then on the weekends, noon to 5.
And you're going to neuter him prior to putting him up for adoption?
He's up for adoption currently, but he'll get neutered before he goes home.
Awesome.
Yes.
So many great things.
I know.
Terrific. Good to see you. I love
You
your new
too.
hair.
Thank you.
Hope you have an awesome weekend this weekend. Stay tuned because we have always much more on TV.